Good morning and welcome to another edition of CCH Checkup brought to you by Carroll Community Hospital. Today we have joining us Dan Bristol. Dan is a psychologist speaking with us today about brain injuries. Thank you for joining us this morning, Dan.
You're welcome. Good to be here.
And let's start right off. What is a brain injury?
Well, there's two types of brain injuries that humans can receive. One is a traumatic brain injury, and that is generally involves blunt force trauma, falls, assaults, motor vehicle accidents, being struck, and sports injuries fall into that category. The other category of brain injuries is an acquired brain injury, and that's due to sometimes a disease process like a stroke, could be near drowning, electrical shock, lightning strikes, tumors, etc.
And what are some symptoms of brain injuries?
Some of the symptoms include physical impairments, speech impairments, vision impairments, hearing impairments, seizure disorders. There can be cognitive impairments where an individual has memory deficits or impaired concentration, slowness of thinking, impaired attention span, and there's emotional impairments that go along with brain injuries, mood swings, anxiety, depression, sometimes assaultive behavior.
And what are some of the statistics about brain injuries?
Well, 5.3 million Americans live with a long-term disability as a result of a traumatic brain injury. Motor vehicle accidents and related incidents cause about 32% of traumatic brain injury deaths. Males are more likely than females to sustain a TBI at any age. 75% of brain injuries are classified as mild. The annual cost of traumatic brain injuries to the United States is estimated at $76 billion. The estimated cost of strokes in the United States is nearly $54 billion. So it's very prevalent.
With all these statistics and ways that you can get a brain injury, what are some preventive measures to help you from not getting a brain injury?
Well, alcohol and use of drugs when an individual is either driving under the influence or riding with somebody or gets hit by somebody is certainly a situation where sobriety would limit that. In children, falls are oftentimes leading cause of brain injuries, so having your children wear helmets when they're riding bicycles. In the elderly, you certainly want to make sure that the house is clutter-free. There's no slip rugs on the floor and things that would cause falls, because falls in the elderly population are very prevalent in terms of causing brain injuries, and they fall and strike their head on something. And I have some personal experience with that. My dad has fallen. He's in his early 80s, and he's fallen several times now and has hit his head on the way down. So you have to be real careful about the environment.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add as we wrap things up?
Certainly, if you believe that one of your loved ones has sustained a brain injury, seek medical attention. Immediately go to the nearest ER room and have that individual evaluated. Time is of the essence in those situations.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Dan. I would like to thank you once again for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
And join us next week for your next edition of CCH Checkup, brought to you by Carroll Community Hospital. And as always, if you'd like to learn more, you can visit cch-mi.org.